Okay, Jeff. Hey there. How are you? Who are you and what do you do?
I'm doing great, Patsy. I'm Jeff Kimber. I'm the sales manager here at Superiorpro Painting and Exteriors.
Okay, what do you do as a sales manager?
I work with the staff here and our sales team to produce a great product and service a wonderful clientele here in the Atlanta market.
Okay, that works for me. And what's your background? Didn't you used to work for Sherwin-Williams?
I've been in the industry about 20 years now, and yes, I was a sales representative for Sherwin-Williams most recently.
Now, you don't look old enough to have been in the industry for 20 years.
I will take that, Patsy. Thank you.
Okay, Jeff. As we're heading into the winter months, is there a period of time when it's too cold to paint outside?
That's a great question, and luckily, regionally here in the Atlanta area, we have relatively mild winters, and so we can here in this area, we can paint pretty much year-round. We do have some periods of time when it does get a little bit too cold to paint outside, but with good communication with our customers and scheduling, we're able to work around that. We do have to tell our customers that we can paint throughout the winter. We just like to make sure that you understand there are some conditions, which it is. We have shorter days sometimes. We have to start a little later in the mornings. We have to end a little bit later, or end a little earlier in the daytime to get prepared to make sure the paint has enough time to dry before the overnight temperatures drop. But here in this Atlanta area, you can paint pretty much year round.
Okay, now what about products? Are there different products that you use when the weather is colder?
We do. Most of the paint companies now have their products that are formulated for low temperature application. What that means to us is that it's formulated to be applied down to 35 degrees, which is surface and air temperature. So what we like to tell our customers is that we have to make sure that the surface temperature has risen above 35 degrees and it's sustained long enough for the paint to be applied, for it to have enough time to dry and cure, and then for that temperature before it falls back down. And one of the things that's important for customers to understand that we fall into sometimes is that you may have a situation where the temperature has fallen down, let's say into the 20s, and it's risen up, the sun is out, it's risen up into the 40s, but the issue becomes on the backside of a house, say, that's still shaded, that temperature on the backside of that siding may still be 30, 32 degrees, and it's still too cold to paint, and it may never get warm enough for you to paint on the backside of that house. And so you just
then you just paint three sides and
you might
forget
have
about
to
the
just
back?
correct. You may just have to paint those three sides, and you know what? As a company, you may just have to wait until it's the proper time to paint. And you know what? If you're a reputable company like we are, you stand behind your work. You have to wait until it's the proper time to paint, and we're going to do what's right for our customers.
So you wouldn't paint three sides of a house and then say we'll be back in the spring to paint that fourth side. You're not going to do that, right?
Well, you don't have to do that here in Georgia. Luckily,
Right.
our cold snaps don't last that long. Wait a day, and it'll be warm enough to paint.
Good. Okay. All right. Now, last thing, what is Superiorpro's policy? I mean, beyond what you've just said, is there anything more specific?
Well, we stand behind what Sherwin-Williams technical data sheets say, and that is that you need to maintain that the temperature on the surface and air is above 35 degrees, and that it needs to be that it's risen above that temperature or maintains that temperature for at least an hour to an hour and a half for you to be able to actually apply the material. And that it needs to have a dry time, or it needs to be able to cure for an hour and a half to 2 hours. And if you can maintain that, then you're able to actually apply their paint. And you need to make sure that there's no rain or snow or moisture, whatever you want to call it, dew even, expected during that dry time. And if you're able to paint under those conditions, then it's acceptable to apply that paint. We follow those procedures. We also indicate to our customers that we take it a little bit further and say if it's in the evening time and we know that there's a cold snap coming, let's say it's 40, 50 degrees even, but we know a front's coming through, it's going to drop down into the 20s, we need to make sure if it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever, we still may have extra daylight. But if a cold snap's coming through, we're going to stop working so we have enough time for that paint to cure before that cold temperature really drops and we don't run the risk of the paint freezing.
And then what is that little gauge thingy that your salesmen use? What's the deal?
Well, it's not our salesmen, it's our project managers.
Ah.
We have project managers that run our crews, but we actually have taken the time to invest in our projects, to have our project managers actually carry thermometers that monitor surface temperature and air temperature, so that we actually physically can test on site to make sure that we are doing what needs to be done to protect ourselves and of course to protect our customers and our projects, to make sure that we have the accurate readings for that surface and air temperature so that we can apply the materials as we need to.
Great. So there you have it. That's the Superior Pro Promise directly from Jeff Kimber. Thanks
That's right.
so much, Jeff.
Absolutely, anytime.
See you next time.
Thank you.